Welcome back, everybody, to the Cirque Show 24/7. This is the Dark Knight Rises movie review. So, as my big friend would like to say,
Let the games begin.
all right, now before we get started with this review, just to warn you, this is going to be kind of a very spoilish review. So if you haven't seen it yet, please, go watch the movie, go enjoy the experience, and then come back and watch my review, please, because I don't want no hate mail or nothing like that. So go just watch the movie first, and then come back and see my reactions and just my whole thought of this movie. All right, good, go. All right, this movie was fucking awesome. It was just everything that you can ever possibly want in a movie. Not a superhero movie, but a movie. And it has so many elements to this that it's when you first watch it, you have to go see it more than once because your first experience is just going to be so overwhelming because that's what happened to me. It was so overwhelming. It was so much to take in that it was just crazy for me. Like it was times where I was shaking, I was nervous. It gives you everything. This movie gives you everything. Christopher Nolan, the actors, Christian Bale, just everybody. Michael Crane, Morgan Freeman, Anne Hathaway, Tom Hardy. Just it gives such great performances. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he gives a great performance, and it just sucks you in. This movie sucks you in. It has so much character development and so much heart that I mean it just makes every other superhero movie look really stupid. You know what I mean? Like the movies that came out this year, like superhero movies, like they're good. I've seen the Avengers like 4 times. I've seen the Amazing Spider-Man twice already. Those are good movies for what they are. But this movie that I just saw, The Dark Knight Rises, is more than a movie. It's experience that you won't get to see often in life, and you have to watch it. You have to experience it because it just opens your eyes to what a superhero film should be and what makes a real superhero. And that's what I liked about it. I think Christopher Nolan delivered his best work ever. Let's talk about the story a little bit. The story revolves around after the events of the Dark Knight with Harvey Dent dying and Batman taking the blame and Commissioner Gordon going along with it. It's 8 years later and you see that Commissioner Gordon, he's a lot older, and this is eating away at him, like the truth. Like he is forced to like lie to Gotham City and everybody. About what really happened to Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent killed those people, not Batman, and it's eating him away because of who he is, who Commissioner Gordon is, and you don't hear nothing from Bruce Wayne or Batman. They're like gone, like really, like no one's heard from them, like in like 8 years. And you when you first see Bruce Wayne, you see him, you see a broken man. You see a man with no faith, with nothing to really live for. He's older. He's a lot hairier. He's not the man that we grown to love. He's like a, a shell of himself, and it's just very heartbreaking just to see him like go through this transformation to where he's on a cane. Like being Batman just taking so much out of him. His last battle is just taking so much out of him. He can barely walk, he can barely stand, he's always in pain. And that's the stuff that I like. That's the stuff that makes this movie so enjoyable. Like really get to know Bruce Wayne and like his side of the story, and his trials and tribulations. That's what makes this story, not Batman, but Bruce Wayne. This is what makes this story so great. The trials and tribulation Bruce Wayne has to go through to become Batman. And another thing that just was just so great to see was Catwoman, Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, because she embodies what Catwoman should be. She embodies it. Like, yes, Michelle Pfeiffer was very sexy and a great Catwoman. Don't get me wrong. We're not going to talk about Halle Berry, but Michelle Pfeiffer, she was a great Catwoman for that movie. But it wasn't that believable when you look back at it. It wasn't that believable. You know what I mean? She was too comic booky and stuff like that, too just out there. But it worked for that movie. So I can't hate on it because it was still a great performance. And up to that, that was the best Catwoman performance that I've seen. But seeing this, Anne Hathaway blows out the water because she does something that you know that Michelle Pfeiffer didn't do. Like she made it believable that this woman can be Catwoman. She can be sexy, but she can still kick ass. And she had a great story, and the way she interacted with Bruce and Batman, like that's how I imagine Catwoman to be. And that's what Anne Hathaway did. She delivered every way possible that I imagine Catwoman to be: very sexy, but very lethal at the same time, very cunning and sly, and just very untrustworthy. And that's who Catwoman is, and that's what Anne Hathaway did. The stuff with her, Bruce Wayne, and when she's talking with Batman and stuff, it's just phenomenal. She's one of the people that steals the show, and you have to give props to her because she got so much crap. Anne Hathaway got so much crap when they first announced her as a Catwoman. When you first saw pictures of her, like a lot of people were skeptical, but I had faith in Christopher Nolan's direction. I have faith in Anne Hathaway, and he doesn't cast bad actors. He really doesn't, and actresses. He picks these people for a reason. Yes, it might look weird at the time, like Heath Ledger as a Joker, but when you see him on screen, you understand why he picked that person. And I can't think of a better person to play Catwoman than Anne Hathaway. So she gets an A in my book in the performance. She's one of the show stealers. She's the only person really in this movie that makes it, okay to laugh at certain points, because this movie is very dark. This movie is very, just, it gets you down. It gets you so emotional. There's not a lot of humor. Like the trailers mislead you to think like this is going to be like a lot of funny jokes and stuff like that. No, most of the stuff that makes you laugh and stuff is with Catwoman, and it's not that much. So I like to see that. I like to see a more darker tone, because this is not Spider-Man. This is not the Avengers. This is not all these other movies. This is Batman. It's supposed to be dark. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be dark, and I like that. It was dark, but Christopher Nolan still and his team still like, okay, yes, it's real dark, but we're not gonna make it too dark. Well, we're gonna make it too dark, but we're just gonna throw in just a little humor here and there. We're not gonna throw in too much. We're not gonna throw in too little. We're gonna throw in just enough to get you through this movie, because this movie it sucks you in, and it doesn't let go until the end of the credits. And just a phenomenal job by Anne Hathaway. So great job by her. Now, before I talk about Bane and stuff, I want to talk about two other characters. Lucius Fox, played by Morgan Freeman, and Alfred, played by Michael Crane. Um, man, I really don't have to say too much about these two, because they're going to bring their A game, and especially Michael Caine when he plays Alfred. He has so many just emotional scenes, and he's not even in the movie that much. If anything, that's my only gripe about this movie, is that we didn't see that much of Alfred, and we should have, because every time he was on screen, he had your heart. He had just the emotion and everything that you really believe Alfred. You really believe he really cared for Bruce, and the only reason he's living because the only other person he has in life is Bruce. And just the way he brought Alfred to the table this this time around is just so amazing. When he has to tell Bruce about the lie with Rachel, and how Rachel's had this note and this letter, and she really chose Harvey Dent and not Batman and stuff. And you see Bruce Wayne feel hurt and just betrayed by Alfred, and Alfred's like, I'm sorry and stuff, but I had to kind of protect you, and so you wouldn't go through this much pain. And you just really just feel for Alfred, because he's trying his best to do everything possible, to keep Bruce happy, to protect him, to just do everything possible just to keep him alive. And when he talks to Bruce and tells him like, you're not Batman anymore, you like you used to be Batman, but you're not anymore. You can't handle these kinds of things anymore. You're a broken man. this guy Bane will kick your ass, and you're not ready for him, and you see that Bruce Wayne, played by Christian Bale, with probably one of the, was probably one of the greatest performances out of all three of them with Bruce Wayne and Batman. He gives the best performance out of Bruce Wayne and Batman when he talks to Alfred, and you see that he truly believes that he can beat Bane. He truly believes it, and he thinks that Bane is no match for him at first. And when he gets that rude awakening that he's not ready for, it's just so hard to watch. When him and Bane fight for the first time, it's just it was scary. Like really, like it was hard for me to watch because my hero, the person I grew up with, the person I idolize is Batman, Bruce Wayne, and you see him get manhandled, like really manhandled by this unstoppable figure in Bane, and you see him trying his hardest, fighting with all his might, punching, doing everything he can, and nothing is stopping this guy. And when I say it's just a scene where Bane is just punching him like in the head with his cowl instead of just punching him, and you hear the cowl just start cracking and breaking. It's just so intense, so vicious, so dark, and just so violent that like it was hard for me to watch, but I couldn't keep my eyes off of it because you see like Bruce Wayne has to go through this. He has to. Um, and that's what I liked about this movie. To become the superhero or the symbol that Batman wants to be, he has to be broken. He has to be brought down to the common man's level. He has to have everything stripped away. And Christopher Nolan does that with excellence. He has your hero have everything stripped away, his money, his legacy, his body, his spirit, everything is stripped away from Bruce Wayne because of Bane, and just his whole life. Everything is just stripped away from him, and you see this man have to become have to re-become Batman. He has to find out how to become Batman again. And it's just a great scene when he's trying to figure out how to become Batman, when he's in prison, when he's in like one of Bane's prisons, and the guy's telling him like, you have to be afraid to die. And at first he's not afraid to die, and that man's like, that's your problem right there. You're not afraid to die. You must be afraid to die to be willing to fight. And that's what I like so much. I really like that he's got to be afraid to die. He's got to let death in to really become the man that he needs to be. Because if he's not afraid of death, then he's not going to always give his all because he's not afraid. But if he's afraid of death, then he's going to fight back. He's going to try to do everything he can to survive, and that plays in towards the end of the movie. Um, Bane. Now Bane, played by Tom Hardy, like I said, that guy does every possible thing to destroy Batman, to break Batman, and he literally does it. And the performances is just great. A lot of people gave him shit because of his voice. I thought the voice fits with the character. I understood him perfectly. The messages he sent, he was very smart. He was intelligent, and that's what Batman never had. He always had people like the Joker, who was very intelligent, but Batman can overpower him. You know what I mean? And the Joker was more of a psyche thing, with Batman. It was more like a mind game with Batman than physical. With Bane, it's a mind game and it's physical, and Batman's never had that, so he's kind of taken aback at first, and he gets his ass kicked through the beginning all the way to the end. He gets his ass kicked, and he has to go through that. Like I said, Bane, Tom Hardy does a fantastic job as Bane. Personally, I like Heath Ledger's Joker better than Tom Hardy's Bane, but that doesn't mean that Tom Hardy didn't do a great job. He did a phenomenal job. But the reason I like Heath Ledger's Joker better is because he is the Joker. That is Batman's greatest foe. No matter who you put in between, at the end of the day, Batman and the Joker, you know what I mean? That's always the greatest thing to see Batman go against his greatest foe. And that was the Joker, because the way he acts and the way he thinks around Batman and the way he what kind of message he wants Batman to understand that he's coming from with when what Joker does. So that's what I like. But Tom Hardy did an amazing job, fantastic job. Couldn't say more. I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt did a great job too, and the I'm not even gonna say the end, even though this is a spoiler. I'm not even gonna say it, but the end with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and his character is just amazing, and it's just an ending that is just satisfying, man. It's just an ending that's just satisfying. It was heartfelt, and you just really believe these characters are real. And I was with my dad the other day, and he had this comment to where he asked me why did I like Batman, because Batman's not really a super, he has no superpower. And watching this movie, I watching this movie and watching all three of them, I seen all three of them, and before I seen the first two before I saw the new one, and watching like all three of them like back to back to back just gives me a better reason to why I fell in love with Batman. You know, Batman is he's a man. He's just a man with no powers. All his power comes from his intelligence, his money. But he's just a man like me, like my father, like you, like the viewers. He's just a human with just this idea to be something bigger and better than a superhero, which makes him the best superhero to me. When he strives to be more than just a man behind a cape and strives to be a symbol and stuff. That's what I grew up with. That's what I love. This movie really shows why Batman is my favorite hero and why he is so beloved by so many people, because he is just a man. He can be destroyed. He can die at any time. Like, it was so many times where you saw when you was watching this movie where you didn't think he was gonna make it. Like the first time he fought Bane, I thought that was the end of Batman because it was so brutal, and like, the end of the movie is just so like heart stopping and stuff, and that's what makes that character, because he goes through so much, but for some reason he finds a way, and anybody can relate to that. You know, anybody can relate to that, and who hasn't been down on their luck? Who hasn't had things stripped away from him? He is probably the 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 darkest character that I've ever read, to where, especially watching this movie, to where he just gets everything just stripped away from him, and he has to work back to get it, to understand why he first became Batman. And that's what this movie is really about, like a hero getting everything stripped away from him and rebuilding his legacy, and imagining or refiguring out why he became this symbol the first place. And that's why I love it. It was an awesome movie. 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20, 1,000 out of 1,000. It was amazing. I couldn't recommend it more to anybody else. I'm sorry that this review is so damn long. I'm sorry that I'm just rambling on, but uh, I'm going to go see it again, like as soon as I'm done with this thing. So please like this video, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought. At the end of this video, I have a couple of messages that I need to say, so just stay tuned at the end of this video, and we'll talk about it. But as always, guys, this is the Cirque Show 24/7. Be easy. Okay, guys. Now, to celebrate, really the Dark Knight Rises and all its glory, I wanted to do something kind of special. Well, not, not too crazy or whatever, but it's kind of special for me. If you watch my show, if you like my show, if you want to do a review with me, uh, this is your chance. Please just send me uh, a video or just a message of why you love Batman and why you would like to review a Batman movie with me. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna review The Dark Knight. I'm gonna pick two people. I'm gonna pick one for The Dark Knight, and I'm gonna pick one for Batman Begins to review those two movies. All you gotta do is just send me a message on the comments below of this video of why you like Batman and why you would like to review with me. That's all you have to do, and then you don't even have to be with me. You record your video, I record mine. You send it to me, I put it together and stuff like that, and we'll do it like that. So please just send me your reasons on why you like Batman so much and why you would like to do it on my show. And I'm gonna pick two people, one for Batman Begins and one for The Dark Knight. So uh, please do that as soon as possible, and we can get those up. Another thing I want to talk about is and my deepest like regret and my deepest thoughts go out to the people who died in that movie theater in like Colorado that happened like last night midnight. I know it was very tragic and stuff like that. Um, it's just very sad that we have people in this world who who are like that, and just my heart goes out to the family and friends of the people that they lost, and I'm sorry. So I just want to get that out real quick. So thank you, and as always, this is the Cirque Show 24/7. Be easy.